What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're the kind of player who loves mind games, setting traps, and keeping your opponent guessing until the very last moment, then have I got a deck for you. Today we're venturing into the undergrowth with Runeterra's most infamous Yordle, Teemo.
I'll scout ahead!
This deck is all about the hidden mechanic. We'll be laying ambushes, generating value from the shadows, and then striking with explosive force when our opponent least expects it. This is a tricky tempo-oriented strategy that rewards clever plays and is a bit mischievous. We'll cover the entire deck, key strategies, sideboard, and the tips you need to become a true scouting legend. Let's dive in. And with this Teemo deck is to control the flow of the game through information denial and surprise plays. Our primary goal is to abuse the hidden mechanic. We will constantly be placing cards face down on our battlefields, creating a minefield of potential threats that our opponent has to respect. Before we even talk about our legend, we have to break down the mechanic this entire deck revolves around. Hidden. What is it? When you have a card with hidden keyword in your hand, instead of playing it normally, you can pay a cost, usually recycling a rune, to place it face down at a battlefield you control. Why is it so good? A hidden card can be played on a later turn for a heavily discounted cost, or often for free. When you play it from the face down position, it effectively has reaction, meaning you can play it at almost any time in response to an opponent's spell, during combat, or whenever you have priority. This gives you incredible flexibility and lets you deploy powerful threats at the perfect moment. This brings us to our champion legend, Teemo, Swift Scout. His abilities are all about hidden. First, he lets you pay 1 energy to hide a card instead of the usual cost of recycling a rune. Second, for 1 energy, you can tap him to return a Teemo unit you own from the board or your champion zone back to your hand. The legend makes it much easier to hide your cards without sacrificing your long-term resources. The second ability lets you pick up a Teemo unit after you play it, allowing you to hide it and use its powerful on-play ability again and again. Use the recall ability to save your Teemo from removal or after he attacks to keep him safe. Since he goes back to your hand, you can immediately hide him again, setting up another ambush for next turn. Our main champion unit is Teemo Scout. He also has hidden and is pretty simple. When you play me, give me +3 might this turn. A cheap unit that can be played from hidden as a surprise 4 or 5 might attacker is an incredible tempo play that can win combats out of nowhere. Our final key card is the spell Guerrilla Warfare. This lets you return up to 2 cards with hidden from your trash to your hand, and for the rest of the turn, you can hide cards ignoring their costs. This card is your recovery tool, letting you refuel and rebuild your board of hidden threats for free. Now, let's go through the rest of the deck, starting with our battlefields. Star-Tipped Peak lets you channel an exhausted rune when you hold it, providing steady resource acceleration. Bandle Tree is a crucial location that lets you hide an additional card at this battlefield. This lets you double up on your hidden threats in one location, making your opponent's life very difficult to deal with. And finally, we have the Candlelit Sanctum. This lets you look at the top 2 cards of your deck when you conquer it and recycle any you don't want, giving you some nice card selection. Now let's move on to our champion units, which are a package of individually powerful threats. Ari, Inquisitive, shrinks an enemy unit's might by 2 when she attacks or defends, making combat math very favorable for you. Kog'Maw Caustic has a potent death knell ability that deals 4 damage to all units at his battlefield when he dies. He is a walking time bomb. Malzahar Fanatic can kill a friendly unit or gear to add 2 recycled runes to your pool, a powerful ramp ability. And finally, Dr. Mundo Expert gets bigger based on the number of cards in your trash and helps manage its size by recycling 3 cards from trash at the start of your turn. Now we'll move on to the core units. Mystic Portal has Vision, allowing you to look at the top card of your deck and recycle it if you wish, thereby smoothing out your draws. Tie Turner is another hidden unit that, when played, can swap positions with another unit you control, a great tool for surprise blocks or repositioning an attacker. Sneaky Deckhand has a unique ability That lets you play her directly to an open battlefield, allowing you to contest for early board control. Cemetery Attendant lets you return a unit from your trash to your hand when you play him, allowing you to grab your hidden cards and reuse them in tight situations. And finally, Elder Monk is a key payoff card. When you play a card from hidden, he gets +2 might for the turn. With a couple of hidden cards, this monk can become a massive threat very quickly. Now, for our seals and gears. Seal of Insight is a simple seal that taps to add a mind rune to your pool. Why is this important? It ensures we have the right color of resource to cast our key blue spells like Rebuke, a card we'll get to later, and interact on crucial turns without recycling our long-term runes. For our gear, we have Mushroom Pouch. It's our primary draw engine. At the start of your turn, if you control a face down card at your battlefield, you get to draw a card. This rewards you for always having a hidden threat ready to go. Now we'll move to our spells. Convergent Mutation is a reaction spell that can increase a friendly unit's might to match another, a great combat trick. Smokescreen is a defensive reaction that gives a unit -4 might for the turn, perfect for surviving an attack from a giant threat. And finally, we have Rebuke. It's a solid temple spell that returns a unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand, allowing you to remove key pieces from an aggressive attack or save one of your hidden cards to play later in the turn. Let's talk about adapting to the undergrowth of Runeterra with our sideboard deck. Stacked Deck lets you look at the top 3 cards of your main deck, put 1 into your hand, and recycle the rest. Stacked Deck gives you card selection. Bring this in for slower, grindy matchups. Fight or Flight is another hidden spell that moves a unit from a battlefield back to its base. It's a great tool for temporarily removing a key blocker or an attacker. Invert Timelines forces each player to discard their hand and draw 4 new cards. This is a powerful disruption tool against decks that like to build up a large hand of cards. And finally, we have Possession. Possession is your ultimate answer to a single massive threat. You get to take control of an enemy unit at a battlefield and recall it back to your base, allowing you to turn the tide of battle and use your opponent's key pieces against them. To wrap it all up, the key to this deck is to always think one step ahead. Your face down cards represent possibilities. Sometimes the threat of what a card could be is more powerful than what it actually is. Don't be afraid to bluff, and always consider when the best possible moment is to spring your trap. Managing your hand, your hidden cards, and your opponent's expectations is a path to victory with Teemo. That's it for our Teemo deck tech. A super fun and rewarding deck for players who love a bit of subterfuge. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay updated. I'm Squeegee. Thanks for watching.
Up to